There comes a moment in every seeker's journey when all seems still, when your prayers echo in the empty chambers of your heart and the world responds with silence. You hear nothing, no sign, no answer, no confirmation. And in that silence, many feel abandoned, confused, or forgotten. But understand this, when you hear nothing, that is God's whisper of faith. The universe does not always speak in thunderous declarations. Often it calls you to lean into the quiet, to rest in the stillness, and to listen not with your ears, but with your soul. This silence is the sacred space where faith is born, pure, unshakable, and unseen. Hearing nothing is not absence, it is presence, a subtle, divine nudge, urging you to trust without proof, to believe without evidence, to imagine without interruption. When your outer world offers no answers, your inner world is wide awake, crafting the unseen reality you desire. Faith is not loud. It does not shout over the chaos of life. It is the whisper beneath your breath, the gentle assurance that all is well, even when your senses say otherwise. In that whisper lies power, the power to create, to transform, to manifest. Your inner being, the silent watcher within, knows the truth before your mind does. It is the fertile soil where your dreams take root. When you feel nothing but silence, know that your subconscious mind is at work, weaving the threads of your desire into the fabric of your reality. This silence asks you to be patient, to trust the timing of the unseen, to remain steadfast in your conviction, even when the world shows no sign. It is in this faith, unshaken by lack of evidence, that miracles are born. So when you hear nothing, embrace the stillness. Close your eyes and feel the reality of your wish fulfilled. Hold the feeling as if it is already yours. Let the quiet be your ally and your guide. For in the hush of nothingness, God whispers faith, and faith is the seed from which all your dreams will grow. In the journey of life, we are often caught up in a whirlwind of noise. The ceaseless chatter of the mind, the clamor of the outside world, the demands and distractions that pull us in every direction. We fill our days with sounds and busyness, seeking answers, seeking validation, seeking signs. But true understanding, true revelation, rarely comes in the midst of such noise. It is only when the external world falls silent, when the loudness of circumstance, opinion, and distraction fades away, that we enter a sacred space where faith begins to speak in its purest form. This silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is not a void, but a fertile ground, a womb of creation where the divine message, often unheard in the chaos, comes softly to the soul. In this silence, your soul becomes a receiver tuned to a higher frequency, a frequency where truth and power dwell beyond words. The external noise is a veil, thick and heavy, obscuring the subtle whispers of your inner being. When that veil lifts, when you step into the quiet, you begin to hear what has always been there, the divine message that your faith has been waiting for. Silence is the sacred sanctuary where your spirit communes with the unseen, where your deepest desires are nurtured and given life. It is here in the stillness that faith is not an abstract concept, but a living, breathing presence. When the noise dies down, your mind, no longer distracted by doubts and fears, becomes still like a calm lake. And in the reflection of that lake, you see the image of your wish fulfilled, the reality you are destined to create. The sacredness of silence lies in its ability to strip away the illusions of the world and bring you back to your true self, the creative essence within you that knows no limits. It is a place beyond the intellect, beyond the senses, where faith does not need evidence or proof. Here, faith speaks in the language of feeling, of knowing, of unshakable trust. It is a whisper so quiet that only the heart can hear it, but its power is vast enough to move mountains. In this quiet, you learn to listen deeply, not for answers dictated by the outside world, but for the guidance that comes from within. The answers you seek are not in the noise, but in the silence that follows. When you create space for stillness, you open a channel to the infinite wisdom that resides in your subconscious mind, the divine source from which all creation flows. The external noise often tries to convince you that you are alone, that your desires are distant or impossible. But silence reveals the truth, that you are never separate from the creative power that brought you into being. This power is patient and gentle, inviting you to rest in the quiet, to trust the process, to surrender the need for immediate confirmation. When you embrace silence, you align yourself with the divine rhythm of life. You understand that manifestation is not a frantic chase, but a serene knowing. The more you resist the noise, the more you resist the chaos, the clearer this sacred message becomes. Silence becomes your teacher, your guide, and your sanctuary. Faith is born and grows in this sacred silence. It is nurtured by the absence of distraction and the presence of quiet confidence. The more you listen in silence, the more you feel the truth of your desires is already fulfilled. This feeling is the divine message, the assurance that your faith is not in vain, that your inner world is shaping your outer reality with precision and grace. So the next time the world around you grows loud and overwhelming, seek the silence within. Turn away from the clamor and enter that sacred space. Let the external noise fade until only the quiet remains. In that quiet, you will find the gentle whisper of faith speaking directly to your soul. It will remind you that all you desire is already yours, waiting to be claimed not by force or struggle, but by the peaceful knowing born in the sacred silence where faith speaks. There is a profound lesson hidden in the experience of hearing nothing. When you reach out with your heart, when you ask the universe or your own inner being for guidance, help, or answers, and the world responds with silence, it can feel unsettling. You may expect a clear sign, a spoken word, or an unmistakable confirmation, but instead you meet an absence. No voice, no signal, no visible sign. Yet this very absence is not a punishment or a denial. It is an invitation. It is a sacred call to deepen your trust and to awaken a belief that transcends the limits of your physical senses. Hearing nothing challenges you to move beyond the reliance on what can be seen, heard, or touched. It asks you to enter a realm where faith is not based on evidence, but on knowing. When the senses fail to provide confirmation, you are pushed inward to the unseen, where your imagination and your feelings become the only true proof. This is the place where creation begins, not in the outer world of form, but in the inner world of belief. To hear nothing is to be invited into a relationship with the invisible. It is an invitation to understand that the laws which govern manifestation do not respond to loud demands or external proofs, but to quiet, persistent faith. When no sound reaches your ears, it is not because the universe is indifferent. It is because it is teaching you the value of trust without tangible validation. This kind of trust is rare and precious. It is the foundation of all miracles. The absence of audible answers forces you to embrace uncertainty with confidence. Instead of needing to know how or when your desire will be fulfilled, you learn to rest in the certainty that it will be fulfilled. This resting place is the heart of trust. It is a surrender of the need to control the outcome or to witness the process unfold. You come to realize that the external silence is actually a reflection of a deeper inner stillness, a stillness in which your faith can grow without interference. When you hear nothing, you are asked to listen with your heart rather than your ears. You are invited to tune into the quiet knowing that your desire is already fulfilled. This knowing is not dependent on external circumstances or sensory confirmation. It is a direct communication from your subconscious mind, which holds the truth of your creative power. Your subconscious does not speak in words or sounds. It speaks in feelings, impressions, and unwavering certainty. To hear nothing outwardly is to give space for this inner voice to become clear and dominant. This invitation to trust also reveals a crucial truth. Manifestation is not always instantaneous or visible. Sometimes the universe is silent because it is aligning circumstances behind the scenes, working in ways beyond your comprehension. If you were to receive audible answers or signs too soon, you might rush or doubt the process. Silence encourages patience, endurance, and the deepening of belief. It teaches you that the invisible work happening inside you is as real and important as any external event. Faith, deepened beyond the senses, is a power that cannot be shaken by appearances. When nothing is heard, when no answer seems forthcoming, those who trust know that the silence is a sacred pause, a time of gestation for their desires. They know that in this quiet, the seeds of their dreams are growing, nourished by their unwavering belief. They understand that the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, but an opportunity to fortify their conviction. In this state, you become a master of your inner world. You learn to dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, regardless of what your senses report. This feeling is the language of faith, and it speaks louder and clearer than any external sound. To hear nothing is to be called into this higher state of consciousness, where trust is not a fragile hope, but an unshakable foundation. So when you find yourself in moments of silence, when your questions seem unanswered and your prayers unacknowledged, remember that this silence is an invitation to deepen your trust beyond what the senses can perceive. Embrace this moment as the sacred gateway to your faith's true power, for it is here, in the absence of noise, that your belief grows strongest and your desires move quietly but surely into manifestation. Faith is a subtle, gentle force, unlike the loud, clamoring voices of doubt and fear that often fill our minds. It is not a booming shout or a forceful demand that breaks through the noise of life. Instead, faith is a whisper, soft, quiet, and intimate. It is the still, small voice that calls to you from within, the gentle current beneath the surface of your consciousness that guides and sustains you. To truly understand faith, one must learn to listen with the heart rather than the ears, to feel it rather than expect it to be loudly proclaimed. True faith does not seek to dominate or overwhelm. It does not shout for attention or plead for proof. Instead, it moves quietly and steadily, like the wind brushing softly through the trees or the faint glow of dawn before the sun fully rises. This whisper of faith is more powerful than any shout, because it arises from a place deeper than words, beyond reason, beyond evidence. It is a knowingness that dwells quietly but firmly within your being. When faith whispers, it invites you to lean in closer, to quiet your mind and open your heart. It does not force you to believe. It gently nudges you toward a deeper awareness of your own power to create your reality. It asks for your trust not through loud declarations, but through a tender, intimate connection with your inner self. This kind of faith does not depend on circumstances or external validation. It is felt as a calm assurance that everything is unfolding as it should, even when the world appears uncertain or chaotic. Faith as a whisper requires patience and attentiveness. Because it is so subtle, it can easily be drowned out by the louder voices of fear, anxiety, or impatience. Yet if you learn to cultivate stillness within, if you silence the inner turmoil, you will begin to perceive this gentle voice. It speaks not in commands or demands, but in feelings of peace, hope, and quiet confidence. It is a vibration of trust that resonates deep within your core. This whispering faith also reveals the sacred nature of belief itself. Belief is not a grand spectacle or a dramatic event. It is a quiet flame kindled in the soul. It grows not by shouting louder, but by being tended with care and attention. When you nurture faith in this way, it becomes a steadfast companion, unwavering in the face of doubt or delay. It is a presence that comforts you in the dark, a secret strength that holds you steady amid life's storms. Because faith is felt more than heard, it cannot be convincingly argued or logically explained. It transcends the mind's need for proof and lives instead in the realm of feeling and imagination. This is why faith must be cultivated internally, through the deliberate act of imagining the fulfillment of your desires, feeling the reality of what you wish to create. The whisper of faith grows louder, not in sound, but in the intensity and clarity of your inner conviction. This inner whisper is also a reminder of your intimate relationship with the creative power of the universe. It is the language through which your subconscious mind communicates its certainty that your desires are already fulfilled. The whisper assures you that the unseen forces are at work, moving quietly but surely to bring your dreams into form. It asks only that you listen, trust, and persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. In a world that often values loudness and immediacy, this soft faith can seem fragile or weak, but it is anything but. The whisper of faith is a mighty current that underlies all creation. It is the silent heartbeat of manifestation, the subtle signal that all is well and your desires are on their way. Those who learn to hear and trust this whisper find a peace and power that no shout can provide. So let faith be a whisper in your life. Let it be the quiet assurance that even in the absence of visible proof, your dreams are already coming to pass. Feel it deeply within your heart. Let it soothe your doubts and guide you gently toward the reality you are destined to create. Faith is not about making noise. It is about feeling the truth so profoundly that no external circumstance can shake it. It is the softest sound with the greatest power, the whisper that shapes your world. Deep within you lies a vast silent reservoir of knowing, your inner being. This is not the restless thinking mind that chases after facts or debates possibilities. It is the still, unchanging core of your existence, the eternal presence that holds all truth and all power. Your inner being is the source from which all creation flows, and it already knows the answer to every question, the solution to every problem, and the fulfillment of every desire you hold. But to hear this answer, you must enter into stillness, a sacred state where the noise of the outer world and the chatter of your mind fall away, allowing you to connect with the deep wisdom of your subconscious. Stillness is the gateway to your inner being. When you quiet your thoughts and release the distractions of daily life, you create a space within yourself where the subconscious can speak freely. This stillness is not simply the absence of sound. It is the presence of peace, a calm and receptive state that opens the door to insight and inspiration. In this silence, you are no longer caught in the turbulence of doubt or fear. Instead, you are aligned with the eternal creative essence that knows exactly what is needed to bring your desires into form. Your subconscious mind is like fertile soil beneath the surface of your awareness. It is the unseen realm where seeds of imagination are planted, nurtured, and eventually brought forth as your reality. But just as a seed cannot grow in a storm, your creative desires cannot take root when your mind is overwhelmed with noise and distraction. The stillness connects you to this inner soil, allowing your thoughts and feelings to settle and your true intentions to emerge clearly and powerfully. In the silence of your inner being, you find not only answers, but the power to manifest those answers. This is because your subconscious does not separate thought from reality. It accepts without question the beliefs and feelings impressed upon it and works tirelessly to bring them into experience. When you consciously align with your inner being through stillness, You impress upon your subconscious the certainty of your desires fulfilled. This certainty becomes the invisible force that shapes your outer world. The answers you seek are not found through struggle or effort. They do not come from external advice or worldly logic alone. They arise naturally from your inner being when you are willing to listen deeply and patiently. The stillness you cultivate is the channel through which these answers flow, clear and unobstructed. It is the silent voice that speaks wisdom, guidance, and assurance that all is well, even when your outer senses may suggest otherwise. Connecting with your inner being also reminds you of your true identity, not as a limited physical form, but as an infinite creative presence. This realization empowers you to release fears and doubts, to surrender control, and to trust that the unseen intelligence within is orchestrating your life perfectly. In this surrender, you open the door to miracles and transformation, allowing the answers that your heart longs for to unfold naturally. Every moment you spend in stillness is an act of alignment with this creative source. It is a declaration that you are ready to receive, to know, and to embody the truth that lies within you. This connection is not distant or mystical. It is intimate and immediate. Your inner being is always accessible, always present, waiting patiently for you to quiet your mind and come home to yourself. The answers you find in this sacred space of stillness often come as feelings, impressions, or subtle insights rather than loud proclamations. They resonate as a deep knowing, a gentle certainty that defies logic but satisfies the soul. Trust these inner promptings, for they are the language of your subconscious and the seeds of your manifested reality. In a world filled with distractions and noise, cultivating stillness is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It reconnects you to your creative power, aligns you with your true desires, and reveals the answers that have been within you all along. When you embrace this silence, you step into a place where all creation begins, a place where your inner being reveals that the answers you seek are already yours, waiting patiently to be realized. Patience and trust are the sacred allies that bring you into harmony with divine timing. Often, when your desires remain unseen or your prayers unanswered, you may feel restless, anxious, or disheartened. Yet this very silence that seems like denial is actually a powerful form of preparation, an unseen unfolding of events working quietly in your favor. Divine timing is a perfect rhythm, beyond the grasp of human impatience or control. It operates on a plane where every moment, every delay, every silence has purpose and meaning, weaving together the tapestry of your life in ways you cannot yet comprehend. To trust in divine timing is to surrender the urgent need for immediate results. It is to accept that your desires are already fulfilled in the unseen realm, and that their manifestation will occur at the precise moment when all conditions are perfectly aligned. This trust is not passive resignation, but an active faith, a knowing that your inner being and the creative forces of the universe are orchestrating every detail with precision and care. The silence you encounter is not a rejection. It is a sacred pause, a time for your belief to deepen and your vision to sharpen. Patience is the soil in which trust grows strong. Without patience, doubt creeps in and the mind begins to question the reality of your dreams. But when you cultivate patience, you create a fertile ground for faith to take root and flourish. Patience teaches you to be still, to wait without worry, and to maintain the feeling of the wish fulfilled, even when your senses suggest delay. This waiting period is a vital part of creation. It is the time when the unseen world aligns all necessary elements, moves obstacles, and prepares the perfect conditions for your desire to appear in your physical reality. Silence in this context is not empty or meaningless. It is a powerful space where transformation takes place behind the scenes. The unseen forces that govern manifestation are at work in the quiet. They are moving circumstances, influencing people, and weaving invisible threads that will soon manifest as the visible outcome you long for. Recognizing silence as preparation rather than denial changes your perspective. It invites you to rest in faith rather than rush into frustration. I trust in divine timing also means relinquishing control. You release the urge to force outcomes, to rush the process, or to demand answers on your schedule. Instead, you align your heart with the rhythm of the universe, flowing gracefully with its natural pace. This alignment brings peace, a deep inner calm that transcends external delays or apparent obstacles. It is in this peace that your creative power expands and your manifestations gain strength. When you embrace patience and trust, you become a co-creator with the divine. You understand that your role is to imagine, feel, and believe while allowing the unseen to handle the details. This partnership with divine timing ensures that what you receive is not only what you desire, but what is best for your highest good, arriving in the perfect moment for maximum benefit. The universe is infinitely wise and benevolent. It never withholds your desires out of cruelty or neglect. The silence you face is a sign that things are unfolding as they must, often in ways more magnificent than you can currently imagine. The waiting period is a sacred workshop where your desires are shaped and refined before being presented to you in their fullest glory. Patience and trust empower you to maintain unwavering faith even when the outer world offers no proof. They teach you to honor the silence, to see it not as absence but as presence, a presence filled with unseen activity and divine intention. This mindset shifts you from frustration to peace, from doubt to confidence, and from desperation to joyful expectancy. So when you find yourself in the quiet spaces of waiting, remind yourself that silence is preparation. The unseen forces are working diligently in your favor, moving mountains and creating paths where none seem to exist. Your patience and trust align you perfectly with divine timing, ensuring that when your desire manifests, it does so with power, grace, and lasting fulfillment. Embrace this truth, rest in this faith, and watch as your life unfolds in beautiful and miraculous ways. The power to manifest your deepest desires lies in the unwavering persistence of feeling the wish fulfilled. It is not enough to simply want or hope for something. True creation comes when you embody the feeling that your desire is already real. This feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, the signal that impresses itself upon the invisible realm and brings your dreams into physical form, even when the world around you shows no signs, even when no evidence appears. You must hold fast to this inner knowing. Persistence in feeling is the key that unlocks the door between the invisible and the visible. It is natural for the senses to demand proof, to seek evidence in the form of signs, events, or changes in circumstance. But external appearances are often misleading, and the lack of visible progress can cause doubt to creep in. This is precisely the moment when many give up, losing faith just before the miracle manifests. Yet, the law of manifestation does not rely on immediate external confirmation. It operates consistently and silently in response to your inner state. When you persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you maintain alignment with the creative power within you, and your desire moves steadily closer to realization. Persisting in the feeling means living in the end, imagining and experiencing your desire as if it has already happened. It is a state of consciousness where your heart rejoices and your mind accepts the reality of what you want. This feeling is not superficial wishful thinking. It is a deep, sustained conviction. It is as if you are already living your fulfilled desire, and everything about you reflects that truth. This inner reality is far more potent than any outer circumstance, because it shapes the unseen forces that govern your life. To persist in this feeling, you must guard your imagination vigilantly. Do not allow fleeting doubts or negative thoughts to pull you away from the conviction you hold. Whenever uncertainty arises, return gently but firmly to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Use your imagination as a tool to recreate the scene of fulfillment. To live in that state, moment by moment, hold up in that state, moment by moment. Repetition of this inner act strengthens the impression upon your subconscious mind, which in turn works ceaselessly to bring about the external counterpart. Ivantananda. Evantag. The absence of signs is not failure, it is often the silence before the dawn. The world's timing is not your timing, and the universe knows when your desire will best serve your highest good. Persisting in feeling despite no outward evidence is a demonstration of faith, a faith that is not shaken by appearances but anchored in the certainty of the unseen. This faith is a magnetic force that draws your desire toward you. Persistence also refines your vibration. The longer you maintain the feeling of fulfillment, the more you become a match for the reality you seek. Like tuning a musical instrument to the correct pitch, your sustained feeling aligns you perfectly with the frequency of your desire. When you vibrate at this frequency, you become a beacon to the forces of creation, signaling that you are ready to receive what you have imagined. It is important to cultivate patience alongside persistence. Holding the feeling of the wish fulfilled requires calm endurance, the ability to remain steady when circumstances seem unchanged. The more you relax and allow yourself to feel as if the desire is already yours, the easier it becomes to persist. Resistance fades and you open yourself to receive. Your feelings are the seed, and persistence is the nurturing water that helps that seed grow. Without persistence, even the strongest feeling can wither and fade. But with steady attention and devotion, your inner conviction blossoms into reality. The manifestation process honors this persistence. It rewards those who hold their vision firmly until the invisible becomes visible. So no matter how long the wait or how silent the signs, hold fast to the knowing that your desire is accomplished. Persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, as if your life depends on it, because in truth, it does. This unwavering persistence is the bridge that connects your imagination to reality. It is the silent force that shapes your destiny and brings your dreams into the tangible world. In conclusion, when you find yourself in the silence of unanswered prayers or unmet expectations, remember that this quiet is not emptiness or neglect. It is the sacred whisper of faith, inviting you to trust beyond the senses, to embrace patience, and to persist in the feeling of your desires already fulfilled. This silence is the divine preparation where your inner being aligns with the unseen forces that are diligently working in your favor. It is here in this stillness that the deepest answers are known and the greatest manifestations begin. Fold. Let your heart be calm and your trust unwavering. Know that hearing nothing is, in fact, hearing the most profound message of all, that your faith is alive and active, quietly shaping your reality in perfect divine timing. Hold fast to this knowing and watch as your desires unfold in ways more magnificent than you could ever imagine. Thank you for allowing me to share this truth with you today. May you walk forward in faith, patience, and unwavering trust, knowing that all you seek is already yours. There are moments in life when the world falls silent. You wait, you hope, but there is no answer, no sign, no whisper from the outside. In this silence, many feel abandoned, lost, or forgotten. But what if I told you that this silence is not emptiness? What if I told you that in this very stillness, God is working behind the scenes, doing everything? The physical world, with its noises and distractions, often misleads us to believe that what we see and hear is all there is. Yet, true reality lies beyond the senses. The greatest workings happen in the unseen realm, where your faith becomes the catalyst for change. When you hear nothing, it is not because nothing is happening. It is because the divine process requires stillness to unfold. Faith is not about waiting for external proof. It is the quiet confidence within that what you desire is already complete. Your imagination, that sacred faculty within you, is God's voice speaking directly to your spirit. The images you hold, the feelings you nurture, they are the language through which the universe aligns itself to bring forth your manifestation. Trust in this invisible process. Though your ears may not hear the thunder of miracles, and your eyes may not yet see the fruits of your prayers, know this: God is crafting the perfect outcome in the sacred silence. Like a seed buried beneath the soil, the promise grows unseen until it bursts forth in its perfect season. You do not need to push or strain. Let go of the anxious grasp to control the timing or the method. Rest in the knowing that all is working for your good, that the divine intelligence is guiding every step, every detail. Be still. Feel the assurance within your heart, that calmness, that peace. It is the proof that God's hand is moving mightily for you. When you hear nothing, trust deeply, for it is in that silence that everything is being done. Many people fear silence. When the world around them grows quiet and no answers come, they begin to doubt, to worry, and to question if anything is happening at all. But silence is not emptiness. It is not absence. Silence is the space where the deepest and most powerful work takes place. When you hear nothing, when no signs or answers seem to arrive, it is because the invisible forces of the universe are moving in your favor, behind the scenes, beyond the reach of your senses. You see, the physical world is but a reflection of a higher unseen reality. What you perceive with your eyes and ears is just a shadow cast by the creative power of your own mind and spirit. The real power lies in the unseen, in the infinite intelligence that governs all things. When you feel that silence pressing upon you, understand this: it is the sacred pause before manifestation, the quiet preparation before the unveiling. It is easy to become impatient in silence. The mind wants to hear a voice, to receive a sign, to feel a confirmation. But those desires are based on limited understanding. The divine works in mysterious ways, often beneath the surface of your awareness. Like the roots of a mighty tree, the foundation of your dreams is being nurtured in the dark, hidden from view. This process cannot be rushed or forced, for it is a divine orchestration that requires time and perfect conditions. When no answers come, it is not because you are forgotten or neglected. Far from it. The very lack of external evidence is proof that the power at work is subtle, intelligent, and precise. It is carefully arranging circumstances, shaping opportunities, and moving people in alignment with your vision. But these movements are hidden from the physical eye. They occur in the realm of spirit, where thought and feeling hold creative sway. Your role is to remain faithful during this silence, to trust the invisible currents that carry your desires toward fulfillment. Do not mistake the absence of noise for inactivity. The universe is never idle. Even when the world appears still, the divine is crafting miracles, weaving together the perfect pattern that will bring your desires to life. Think of the moments in nature when everything seems quiet, the stillness before a storm, the deep calm of early morning, or the pause before a flower blooms. These moments of silence are filled with life and energy, though it may not be immediately obvious. So it is with your journey. The silence you experience is not the absence of life, it is the presence of profound creative activity. The unseen is always moving on your behalf, even when your senses tell you otherwise. It may seem that your prayers go unanswered or that your efforts yield no results. But the spiritual realm is always responding. Your faith and trust act like a magnet, drawing the unseen forces to your cause. The stronger your belief, the more power you give to these invisible workers. Do not seek to fill the silence with anxiety or doubt. Instead, embrace it as a sacred space where God or the creative force within you is laboring tirelessly. Let this understanding bring peace to your heart. Know that the universe has your back, even when it feels like you are alone in the dark. This silence is an invitation to deepen your faith, to quiet your restless mind, and to surrender control. When you release the need to know how or when your desires will manifest, you open the door for the divine to work unhindered. Trust that the silence is a sign of progress, not neglect. The greatest transformations begin in silence. The seed must lie hidden in the soil before it can sprout. The caterpillar must rest in the cocoon before it can emerge as a butterfly. So too must your dreams be nurtured in the quiet, unseen realm before they appear in your life. When you find yourself in moments of silence, breathe deeply and remind yourself that this is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a powerful movement. Behind the stillness, the unseen is moving on your behalf. Trust this truth with all your heart and watch as the silence gives way to the fulfillment of your deepest desires. Faith is a power that goes beyond what the senses can grasp. It is not dependent on what you see, hear, or feel in the external world. Instead, faith creates a reality deep within, one that is far more real and lasting than the temporary conditions your senses perceive. The world around you may seem uncertain, incomplete, or silent, but faith stands as an unshakable foundation beneath all appearances. Often, people mistake their outer circumstances for the truth of their lives. If the phone does not ring, the letter does not come, or the situation remains unchanged, they conclude that nothing is happening. They trust their eyes and ears more than their inner knowing. But the senses are limited. They reflect only what is already manifested on the surface. Faith, on the other hand, reaches into the unseen, the infinite, and the eternal. When you understand that faith transcends the senses, you begin to realize the true source of your power. It is not in the external evidence, but in the belief held in your heart and mind. This inner reality is the seed from which all external manifestations grow. It is the creative force that shapes your life before your senses can catch up. To have faith is to live in the end, to imagine and feel the fulfillment of your desire as if it is already done, regardless of what the senses report. This means that even if the world is silent, even if there is no visible progress, your faith holds the vision steady. Your inner world, vibrant with belief, is the reality that will eventually unfold outside. The senses speak the language of time and limitation. They tell you that things are not yet as you wish, that the answer is delayed, that the outcome is uncertain. Faith, however, operates outside of time and space. It is not bound by what is present or absent in the moment. It knows no delay because it perceives the end result as already fulfilled. When you live by your senses, you are a servant to appearances. You react to every change in circumstance, every rumor, every sign. Your peace depends on the external world, which is always changing and unpredictable. But when faith governs your reality, you become the master of your experience. You remain calm and confident, anchored in the truth that what you desire already exists within you, unseen but no less real. Faith is a silent conviction. It does not shout or demand proof. It quietly knows and trusts without needing to hear or see. This trust is a creative force that moves mountains and transforms lives. It is the invisible hand that guides circumstances, people, and events to align perfectly with your vision. Do not allow your senses to deceive you. What you see or hear outwardly is often a reflection of past beliefs or doubts. The world can only show you what you accept as real. If you let your faith waver, the senses will confirm your doubts. But if you hold firm in faith, you will find that the world begins to change to match your inner conviction. In moments when you hear nothing, when external silence presses in, remember that this does not define your reality. Your faith shapes a deeper truth, a reality that no physical evidence can diminish. That inner reality is alive and potent, crafting your future behind the scenes. You are invited to live by this faith, to cherish and cultivate the inner vision that transcends all external senses. Trust that your imagination and feeling create the substance of your life far more than any outward circumstance. Hold fast to this faith. It is the light in the darkness, the anchor in the storm, and the bridge from desire to manifestation. What you hear or don't hear outwardly matters little compared to the reality your faith sustains inwardly. Nurture this sacred belief, and you will witness the miraculous unfold in your life, no matter how silent the world may appear. Imagination is not merely a mental exercise or a way to daydream about possibilities. It is the very language through which the divine communicates with you. It is God's voice speaking softly, yet powerfully within your soul. Every image that you create in your mind, every feeling that stirs in your heart, is a sacred whisper from the unseen realm, a divine message guiding you toward the life you are meant to live. Too often people dismiss imagination as fantasy or wishful thinking, something separate from the real world. But this is a profound misunderstanding. Imagination is the creative force behind all existence. It is the instrument through which God brings form and substance to the invisible, turning thought into reality. The inner vision you hold, the vivid scenes you see in your mind's eye, are not illusions. They are the divine blueprint of what is to come. When you imagine your desires as already fulfilled, you are in communion with God's creative power. You are speaking the language of the Spirit, affirming a reality beyond what your physical senses reveal. The feelings you nurture alongside your vision, joy, gratitude, peace, are the emotional vibrations that bring this vision into being. They are the music of the soul, the rhythm that harmonizes with the universal mind. Your inner world is the sacred temple where God's voice can be heard most clearly. When you close your eyes and see your dreams unfolding, when you feel the emotions of success, love, or healing as if they are present now, you are tuning in to the divine frequency. This is the way God works through you, not through distant miracles or external forces, but through your own creative faculty of imagination. This divine voice does not shout or command. It whispers gently, inviting you to trust, to believe, and to co-create. The more you listen to these whispers, the clearer your vision and the stronger your feelings, the more powerful the manifestation becomes. Your imagination shapes reality like a sculptor shaping clay, breathing life into the formless. When doubt or fear tries to silence your imagination, remember that these are distractions, the noise of the world trying to drown out the divine communication. Faith is the act of turning inward, quieting the mind and listening deeply to the voice within. It is through this practice that you begin to understand that your imagination is not your own alone. It is a channel through which God speaks. You are never separate from the creative source. Imagination is the bridge that connects your human experience with the infinite intelligence of God. Every vision and feeling you hold is a sacred covenant between you and the universe, a promise that your desires are already known and will be fulfilled in divine timing. Do not underestimate the power of your inner vision. When you imagine yourself as whole, successful, loved, or healed, you are affirming the truth of your being. You are declaring that the divine plan includes your joy and abundance. Your feelings serve as proof that this vision is real and alive within you, even before it appears in the physical world. Practice listening to this divine voice daily. Make time to imagine with feeling and conviction. Allow your inner vision to guide your thoughts, words, and actions. As you do, you become a co-creator with God, actively participating in the unfolding of your life's purpose. Your imagination is God's sacred whisper, guiding you gently yet powerfully toward your highest good. When you honor this voice, nurture it with faith and emotion, you unlock a limitless source of creative power. Trust that what you imagine with feeling is already being fashioned by the divine, soon to appear as your reality. Let your imagination be your sanctuary, your communication with God's infinite wisdom. Know that through this sacred faculty you have access to the very essence of creation, and within you lies the power to shape your world according to the divine plan whispered in your heart. There are times in life when everything seems still, when the days pass without change, when progress appears slow or non-existent, and when your prayers seem to hang unanswered in the air. In these moments it is easy to become restless, to question whether anything is happening at all. But the truth is, the stillness you perceive is not a sign of inactivity or failure. It is the invisible process working quietly and perfectly behind the scenes, orchestrating all things for your highest good. The divine process is unlike anything the human mind can fully understand. It does not rush or stumble. It does not falter or lose focus. It moves with flawless precision, guided by infinite wisdom and love. When you trust this invisible process, you release yourself from the chains of doubt and impatience, and you open the door to a deeper peace and assurance. Your outer world may look unchanged, but within the unseen realms, the wheels of creation are turning. The divine intelligence is arranging the circumstances, aligning the right people, and weaving the perfect opportunities that will bring your desires into reality. This orchestration is subtle and complex, beyond the grasp of your senses, but it is always in motion. To trust this process means to surrender your need for immediate results and control. It is to have faith that the timing and unfolding are perfect, even if they do not match your expectations. When you try to force outcomes or rush the process, you interfere with the divine plan and create resistance. But when you let go and trust, you allow the natural flow of life to carry you effortlessly toward your dreams. The invisible process honors your faith and rewards your patience. It works in harmony with your inner beliefs, your feelings, and your imagination. The clearer your vision and the stronger your trust, the smoother the unfolding becomes. It is as if the universe hears your silent faith and answers it by arranging everything in your favor. The divine process is not confined by time or logic. It operates on a higher plane, where what seems delayed is actually happening in perfect sequence. The delays, the waiting periods, the silence, all of these are necessary parts of the journey. They are moments of preparation, growth, and refinement. Look, just as a gardener waits patiently for a seed to sprout, knowing that the growth happens beneath the soil before it is visible, so too must you trust the invisible process. Your desires are like seeds planted deep within your being. The divine is nurturing them, providing the perfect conditions for their emergence, even when you cannot yet see the results. In the midst of stillness, cultivate inner peace. Do not allow your mind to fill the silence with worry or impatience. Instead, affirm that the divine process is at work and that all is unfolding as it should. This peace is a sign of your alignment with the unseen forces, a confirmation that you are on the right path. Trust also means recognizing that what you desire is always for your highest good. The divine intelligence knows what is truly best for you, even better than you do. Sometimes what you seek may be transformed, delayed, or redirected to serve a greater purpose. Have faith that these adjustments are part of the perfect orchestration of your life. When you embrace this trust, you become a co-creator with the divine. You do not have to carry the burden of forcing change or controlling every detail. Instead, you participate joyfully and confidently, knowing that the invisible process is unfolding flawlessly on your behalf. Your role is to hold the vision, nurture the feeling of fulfillment, and patiently wait with unwavering faith. The divine will take care of the rest, bringing together all elements necessary for your manifestation. Trust the invisible process. Even when all appears still and silent, the divine is actively orchestrating every detail of your life. This process is perfect, wise, and loving, designed to bring you exactly what you need at the perfect time. Rest in this knowing, and you will find a profound peace that carries you forward, even through the quietest moments. Anxiety often comes from trying to control what is beyond our grasp. We become entangled in the illusion that we must force things to happen, that our constant worry and effort will somehow push the universe to deliver what we want. But this grasping and restless energy only creates resistance, blocking the natural flow of life's abundance. The truth is that the outcome you desire is already fulfilled, not in the future, but in the spiritual realm, the unseen dimension where your true reality exists. The path to peace and manifestation lies in letting go of anxiety and control, and resting deeply in this knowing. When you try to control every detail, you betray a lack of faith in the divine intelligence that governs all things. You forget that the spiritual realm, which is the source of all form, is already perfect and complete. Everything you seek is already created there, waiting to manifest in your outer world. Your task is not to force it to happen, but to align your consciousness with this already fulfilled state. Anxiety is born from focusing on the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. It is the restless mind's attempt to bridge that gap through effort and worry. But this effort, when mixed with fear, only pulls your energy away from the vibration of fulfillment. Instead of drawing your desire closer, anxiety pushes it further away. Letting go of control means surrendering this false urgency and recognizing that the spiritual realm is already secure, abundant, and perfect. Resting in the knowing that your outcome is fulfilled changes everything. It shifts your mindset from one of lack to one of abundance. It allows you to feel peace even before the physical evidence appears. This peace is not passive. It is a powerful state of being that magnetizes your desires. When you embody the certainty of fulfillment, you become a vibrational match to that reality, and the universe responds accordingly. To let go of anxiety and control, you must practice surrender. This does not mean giving up on your dreams or becoming indifferent. Rather, it means trusting the process and releasing your attachment to how and when things will happen. You must allow the divine to take over the details and timing, knowing that it knows better than your limited mind. Surrender is an act of faith. It is a declaration that you believe the outcome is secure, that the spiritual realm has already answered your prayers. When you rest in this faith, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of worry and control. Your energy becomes light and open, inviting miracles to flow effortlessly. The spiritual realm is the source of all creation. It is eternal, unchanging, and perfect. What you have imagined and believed there is not a distant possibility. It is your present reality on the highest plane. Your feelings and assumptions are the bridge between that realm and your physical experience. By aligning your feelings with the fulfilled state, you send a clear signal that your manifestation is inevitable. Anxiety clouds this signal. It creates doubt and confusion, disrupting the flow of creative energy. Letting go of anxiety means calming the mind and emotions so you can tune in to the truth of your fulfilled state. Meditation, visualization, and affirmations can help you cultivate this inner peace. In moments of uncertainty, remind yourself that the outcome is already fulfilled spiritually. Feel it as real now. Imagine the joy, the gratitude, and the satisfaction of having what you desire. This feeling is your anchor. Cling to it and let it steady you when external circumstances seem slow or challenging. Letting go of control also opens you to unexpected blessings. Sometimes the way your desires manifest is beyond what you imagined, and trying to control every step can blind you to better possibilities. Surrender allows divine wisdom to guide the unfolding, bringing you gifts and opportunities that align perfectly with your highest good. To manifest effortlessly, you must learn to release anxiety and control. Trust that the spiritual realm already holds your fulfilled desire in perfect form. Rest in this knowing daily. Live as if it is done, and watch how the universe mirrors back this truth in your life. In the midst of life's storms and uncertainties, there is a profound invitation: be still. This stillness is not merely the absence of noise or distraction. It is a sacred state of inner calm where your soul connects deeply with the unseen reality that shapes your life. To be still is to quiet the restless mind, to silence the anxious heart, and to rest fully in the assurance that all is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot yet see the evidence. Your inner peace is a powerful indicator that the divine process is at work. It is not a passive feeling, but an active force that vibrates with the certainty of fulfillment. When you cultivate peace within, you are aligning yourself with the creative intelligence of the universe, signaling that you trust the invisible hand guiding your journey. This peace is the proof that God's work is in motion, even if it remains unseen to the physical eye. Faith is the companion of this stillness. It is the quiet confidence that what you desire is already accomplished in the spiritual realm. Faith does not demand proof. It rests content in knowing. When you feel this faith, you are tapping into the source of all creation, acknowledging that the divine plan is moving forward without interruption. Many people search outside themselves for signs and confirmation, looking for visible results or external validation. Yet true assurance comes from within. Your feelings of peace and faith are the truest evidence that your manifestation is progressing. They are the spiritual footprints left behind by the divine activity you cannot yet perceive. Being still allows you to step away from the noise of doubt and impatience that often clouds your perception. In the absence of frantic striving, you open a sacred space where miracles can emerge. This stillness is a fertile ground for faith to grow and for your vision to take root deeply in your subconscious mind. When you find yourself in moments of uncertainty or delay, pause and breathe into stillness. Focus not on what is lacking or delayed, but on the inner assurance that your desire is already fulfilled. Feel the calm confidence rising within you. This feeling is not a wish or hope. It is a knowing, a certainty beyond circumstance. Your inner peace is like a lighthouse in a stormy sea, guiding you safely toward the shore of your dreams. It reminds you that the unseen realm is active and benevolent, moving everything into place according to divine timing. Even when the physical world seems quiet, your peaceful heart confirms that the wheels of creation are turning. This assurance also strengthens your ability to surrender. When you are still and at peace, you release the need to control outcomes or push results. You trust that the divine is orchestrating every detail perfectly, even if the process is hidden from view. This trust brings a lightness to your being, freeing you from the burden of doubt and fear. Be still then and listen with your heart. Let your faith rise like a quiet flame, steady and warm. Know that this inner state is your greatest ally on the path to manifestation. It is both proof and power. Proof that the divine is working through you, and power to draw that work into your experience. The greatest transformations begin in silence and stillness. The seed of your desire is planted in the fertile soil of your faith. Nourish it with peace and patience, and watch as it grows unseen until it bursts forth into your life with undeniable reality. In conclusion, your inner peace and faith are not mere feelings but sacred signs. They are the whispers of God's activity within and around you. When you cultivate stillness, you tap into this divine current and become a co-creator with the universe. Trust this assurance deeply. It is the silent but certain proof that everything is working together for your highest good, even if the outcome remains hidden for now. As we come to the close of this reflection, remember that the silence you encounter is never empty. It is filled with divine activity moving perfectly on your behalf. Faith is your bridge beyond what the senses reveal, shaping an unseen reality that is more powerful than any outward circumstance. Your imagination is the sacred voice of God within you, guiding and creating through your inner vision and feeling. Trust the invisible process, even in stillness, knowing that everything unfolds in divine timing for your highest good. Let go of anxiety and control, resting in the certainty that your outcome is already fulfilled in the spiritual realm. And in the stillness, find the deep assurance that your peace and faith are proof that God's work is in motion, unseen, but undeniably real. Carry this knowing with you every day. Be still, trust deeply, imagine vividly, and feel fully. Your reality is being shaped by the unseen hands of divine love, and all that you desire is already yours. Thank you for opening your heart and mind to this message. May you walk forward with unwavering faith and the quiet confidence that you are always held and guided by the infinite. You are not meant to run after the things you desire, for when you run, you announce that they are far away, that you do not possess them, and the world obediently agrees. You must step into the stillness where all things are already yours. In that stillness, you will discover that what you sought was never outside of you. It was waiting in the quiet of your own imagination. Do not be fooled by appearances. The absence of your desire in the physical world is not proof it is absent. It exists the moment you accept it inwardly. The more you chase, the more you push it away. For you confess without words, it is not here yet. Change this confession. Walk as one who already owns what they once desired. Speak as though it is done. Feel the reality of it in your bones. When you rise in the morning, carry the satisfaction of a dream fulfilled. When you rest at night, let your heart whisper, "It is mine." The universe does not respond to the noise of desperation, but to the quiet certainty of faith. What you desire will not come because you chase. It will come because you have already received it within. Stop running. Stand still in your knowing. The moment you truly believe, it will find you. And when it arrives, it will feel less like a surprise and more like a homecoming. When you move through life with a sense of desperation, you unknowingly push away the very thing you are trying so hard to grasp. Desperation is not simply wanting something. It is the loud proclamation that you do not yet have it. And even worse, that you may never have it unless you fight, force, and chase. It's an energetic signal, a vibration that announces to life itself, I am incomplete, I am lacking, I am without. And life, being the perfect mirror that it is, reflects that declaration back to you in experiences, circumstances, and delays that match your inner state. When you chase, you affirm the distance between you and your desire. You are saying with every action and every thought that it is over there and you are over here. You confirm separation. And so the very act of pursuing becomes a barrier because it keeps you in the state of yearning rather than receiving. This is why you can work harder, push more, and yet still feel like you are running in place. Your energy is one of need, not of possession. Desperation also creates tension in the mind and body. It is the restlessness that won't let you sleep, the anxiety that plays what if in your thoughts, and the fear that whispers it might never come. This state blinds you to opportunities, blinds you to intuition, and blinds you to the subtle nudges that could guide you effortlessly toward your desire. Instead, you exhaust yourself in frantic activity, mistaking motion for progress. You believe that by doing more you will speed things up, but often, the more you push, the slower it seems to arrive. True manifestation begins in stillness, not struggle. The moment you declare something yours inwardly, without needing to see proof in the outer world, you shift into alignment with it. When you live from the inner knowing that it already belongs to you, you naturally drop the need to chase. You no longer move from lack, you move from fulfillment. And this shift is powerful because life responds not to your words, but to your state of being. Imagine someone who already possesses the thing you are after. They are not desperate for it, nor do they spend their days wondering if it will come. They carry themselves with ease. Their energy is calm, certain, magnetic. That is the state you must embody now, not when it comes, but before it comes. This is the paradox. By acting and feeling as though you already have it, you remove the invisible wall that desperation builds. It is not about giving up your goals or abandoning effort. It is about transforming your inner posture. Instead of chasing, you allow. Instead of gripping tightly, you open your hands. You trust that what you have claimed within must appear without. This trust is not passive, it is alive, confident, and expectant. When you stop announcing your lack through desperation, life stops reflecting lack back to you. And in that space of calm expectation, your desire moves toward you, not because you chased it, but because you became the version of yourself who already lives with it. In that moment, the delay dissolves, and what you once trained for begins to arrive with an ease that feels almost effortless. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of complete alignment. It is the quiet center where your desire is no longer something you reach for, but something you rest in. This stillness is not passive or lazy. It is a deep state of trust, a silent knowing that what you have imagined is already taking shape. In this space, you no longer feel the urge to force things into existence because you understand that creation is an inner act before it is an outer one. True manifestation happens when you stop trying to wrestle life into giving you what you want. Frantic action is often a disguise for fear, a way of saying, if I don't do everything, it won't happen. This kind of energy scatters your focus and drains your strength. You may be busy, but you are not aligned. You may be moving, but you are not moving toward the fulfillment of your desire. You are often running in circles around it. Stillness, on the other hand, allows you to become a perfect vessel for what you want. It is in the quiet moments, when you are not distracted by the noise of doubt, that you can feel the reality of your desire as if it is already here. And that feeling, that inner conviction, is the true cause of manifestation. Outer action has its place, but without the calm expectation of stillness, your actions often come from a place of lack rather than from the assurance of possession. When you dwell in stillness, your mind becomes clear. You are no longer reacting to every fear, rumor, or delay. You are not pulled into the frantic rhythm of the world around you. Instead, you remain rooted in the unseen reality you have chosen to believe in. From this place, the steps you take are inspired, precise, and effective. You act when the inner nudge comes, not out of panic, but out of alignment. Think of stillness as a magnetic state. When you are calm, your energy becomes steady and focused, drawing to you the exact people, circumstances, and opportunities that match your inner vision. Frantic action sends out scattered signals, Stillness sends out one clear signal: it is already mine. That signal does not have to be repeated in desperation. It is constant because you live in it. Stillness is also a form of surrender, but not in the sense of giving up. It is the surrender of control over timing and method. You stop insisting that things unfold in your limited way, and you allow life to weave them together in the most perfect way. This is why people often notice that when they finally let go, things start falling into place, because they release the resistance that frantic action creates. To master stillness is to master manifestation. It is to hold your vision so steadily within you that no delay shakes it, no doubt erodes it, and no outer circumstance convinces you otherwise. It is to know without strain that your desire is not running away from you, it is moving toward you. And in the quiet confidence of stillness, you allow it to arrive at the perfect moment, in the perfect way. Assumption is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. To assume it is already yours means to occupy in mind and feeling the reality in which your desire is a present fact, not a future hope, not a distant possibility, but something complete and certain now. This is not wishful thinking. It is a deliberate choice to live from the end, to adopt the inner posture of one who has already received. When you assume, you shift your entire state of being. You no longer approach life as someone waiting for a blessing. You approach as the one who has been blessed. Your words change, your decisions change, even your energy changes. Without consciously forcing it, you begin to act in ways that are consistent with having, not with lacking. And because life is a mirror, the outer world begins to rearrange itself to match your new state. Many people fail to receive what they desire because they live in constant acknowledgement of its absence. They say, "One day I will have it," or "I hope it comes soon." Such statements may sound harmless, but they keep the mind anchored in the future, never allowing the desire to crystallize in the now. The only time manifestation happens is in the present moment, because the present is where creation takes place. When you assume it is already yours, you collapse the imagined distance between you and your desire. This assumption must be more than words. It must be felt. You must sink into the feeling of possession until it becomes natural. If you desire wealth, you feel the ease, security, and abundance as though it is already part of your daily life. If you desire love, you feel the warmth, safety, and joy of being deeply cherished long before you see the person in your outer world. Feelings are the language of the unseen, and assumption speaks that language fluently. Assuming does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing the higher reality within you over the temporary appearance outside of you. The outer world is always a delayed reflection of your inner state. If you wait for the reflection to change before you believe, you will wait indefinitely. But if you believe first, if you live as though it is already done, the reflection must eventually catch up. This is why assumption feels so powerful. It removes the need to chase, plead, or doubt. You rest in a quiet certainty. You are no longer shaken by delays or appearances because you know the seed has been planted and the harvest is inevitable. You walk through life as though carrying a secret, one that fills you with confidence and peace, because you have already received in the invisible what you will soon touch in the visible. To assume is to declare, "It is mine now." And once that declaration is fixed in your being, the outer world has no choice but to bend toward it. When you live in the conviction that it is already done, you stop waiting and start being. And in that shift, the unseen moves swiftly into sight. Detachment is not about losing interest in your desire or pretending you no longer care. It is about releasing the mental grip that strangles its natural arrival. When you cling too tightly, constantly questioning how it will happen and when it will appear, you introduce tension into the process. That tension creates resistance, and resistance slows everything down. Detachment is the art of allowing. It is trusting the unseen process enough to step back and let it unfold in the perfect way. at the perfect time. When you are attached, you are in a state of monitoring. You check for signs, measure progress, and compare your situation to others. With every glance at the clock and every search for evidence, you send out the same silent message. It's not here yet. This repeated acknowledgement of absence keeps you locked in the very state you are trying to escape. You may not realize it, but the constant mental checking is a form of doubt, and doubt disrupts the flow of creation. Detachment begins when you understand that the how and when are not your responsibility. Your only work is to create the inner state of already having and to remain in that state with consistency. Life will arrange the details in ways you could never predict. Often, the paths that lead to your desire are invisible until you stop interfering. When you release control, you open the door for unexpected opportunities and perfect timing to appear. Things that would have been blocked if you insisted on forcing your own plan. Think of planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check if it has sprouted. You water it, give it sunlight, and trust that the process is working beneath the soil, unseen. The same is true with your desires. Once you have planted the seed in imagination, it is growing even if you see no physical signs. Yet, pulling at it out of impatience only delays the bloom. Detachment also allows you to enjoy the present moment instead of living in a constant state of waiting. When you release the pressure of deadlines and the need for control, you become more relaxed, open, and receptive. This relaxed energy is magnetic. It draws your desire toward you far more effectively than frantic longing ever could. The more you let go, the more life has space to move on your behalf. Releasing the how means trusting that life has infinite ways of delivering your desire, many of which you cannot foresee. Releasing the when means trusting that the timing will be flawless even if it does not match your personal schedule. You may look back one day and realize that the so-called delays were in fact perfect alignments, preparing you for a better outcome than you first imagined. To detach is to rest in the confidence that it is already done. You no longer chase, you no longer beg. You simply live in the quiet joy of knowing. And in that state, your desire can arrive naturally, effortlessly, and often far sooner than you expected, because you have finally removed the resistance that was keeping it away. Faith is the invisible magnet that draws your desire from the unseen into the seen. It is not mere hope or wishful thinking. It is the deep, unshakable conviction that what you have claimed within will appear without. Faith does not beg, plead, or chase. It stands firm in quiet certainty, knowing the outcome is inevitable. This is why faith carries such power. It operates beyond force. Where force exhausts, faith attracts. When you hold unwavering belief, you radiate a steady energy that aligns perfectly with the reality you desire. You are no longer vibrating between wanting and doubting, between believing and fearing. Instead, your inner state becomes fixed, consistent, and magnetic. The outer world must eventually match it, for life always reflects the vibration you sustain most dominantly. Faith is not swayed by appearances. It knows that what you see now is temporary, and what you hold within is the true reality and formation. The power of faith lies in its ability to bypass resistance. Doubt, worry, and desperation all create friction in the process of manifestation. They scatter your focus and weaken your signal. Faith dissolves that friction. It says, I do not need proof to believe, for my belief is the proof. This is why those who truly live in faith often see results others call miraculous, not because they are lucky, but because they have aligned themselves so completely with the outcome that nothing contrary can persist. Faith also changes the way you act. When you know something is yours, you naturally make choices that align with having it. You speak differently, carry yourself differently, and move through life with a quiet assurance. You are not driven by fear of losing, because in your mind you cannot lose what is already yours. This state of being draws the right opportunities, people, and circumstances toward you, not through forceful pursuit, but through natural attraction. Many struggle with faith because they confuse it with controlling the process. They think believing means trying to make it happen through constant effort. But faith is the opposite. Faith trusts the unseen. Faith plants the seed and does not dig it up to check for growth. Faith releases the how and focuses on the knowing that it will be. It is this release, paired with unwavering conviction, that allows the unseen to arrange the perfect path for manifestation. Faith is magnetic because it carries certainty, and certainty is irresistible to life. When you fully believe, you are no longer broadcasting mixed signals. You send out one clear message: it is mine. And because you believe without contradiction, you align completely with the frequency of your desire. Life, being a perfect mirror, must return that exact state to you in form. To live in faith is to live in the end before it is visible. It is to stand in the middle of what looks like absence and feel the fullness of possession. It is to know without needing to see. And in that knowing, your desire moves toward you, not with struggle, not with strain, but as if drawn by an invisible force. Creation begins with feeling. To live the feeling now is to immerse yourself in the emotional reality of already having what you desire even before it appears in the physical world. It is the deliberate choice to embody the state you would naturally inhabit if your wish were fulfilled. This is far more than imagining or hoping. It is experiencing, in your inner world, the joy, relief, confidence, or gratitude you would feel if it were already yours. Feeling is the secret language the unseen responds to. Thoughts may wander, but feelings imprint deeply. When you live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you send a clear and consistent message to life itself. This is my reality. Your outer world, being a faithful mirror, must eventually reflect that inner state back to you. This is why some people seem to receive their desires effortlessly. It is not luck. It is that they have mastered the art of emotionally inhabiting the end result. Most people wait for circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel good. They say, when I get the job, then I'll feel secure, or when I meet the right person, then I'll feel loved. But this is backwards. Life responds to the state you live in now, not the state you promise to enter later. If you wait to feel abundance until money arrives, you are living in lack, and lack will continue to mirror itself. If you wait to feel love until someone enters your life, you are living in loneliness, and loneliness will persist. Living the feeling now means you take ownership of your emotional state and make it match the reality you want to see. If your desire is wealth, you feel the ease and freedom of financial security in this moment. You picture yourself making decisions as someone who is already abundant, and you allow that lightness to fill your days. If your desire is love, you feel cherished and secure now, carrying yourself as one who is deeply valued. The more real it feels within, the faster it must show itself without. This practice is not about pretending or forcing yourself into constant happiness. It is about intentionally visiting and dwelling in the emotional atmosphere of your fulfilled desire until it becomes your natural state. Over time, this inner reality will feel so normal that the outer manifestation is simply a natural extension of it. When you live the feeling now, you dissolve the energy of waiting. Waiting keeps your desire in the future. Living the feeling pulls it into the present. And the present is the only place creation truly happens. You stop asking when will it come, because inwardly it has already arrived. You live in a kind of inner completion, which removes the need for frantic action or desperate searching. In this state, Manifestation becomes effortless because you are no longer trying to create something new. You're simply allowing the physical world to catch up to the emotional reality you already inhabit. And once it does, you will see that it didn't arrive at all. It was here all along, waiting for you to feel it first. The truth is, what you desire is not running away from you, it is moving toward you the moment you stop chasing and start embodying it. Desperation delays, stillness aligns, assumption creates, detachment frees, faith attracts, and living the feeling now seals it into reality. The outer world cannot resist a mind and heart fixed in the certainty of already having. So step out of the frantic search, rest in your inner knowing, and watch how effortlessly life delivers when you allow it to. Thank you for listening, and may you walk from this moment forward as one who already holds the life you dream of. You have been taught to run after everything you desire, to chase, to strive, to work until exhaustion. But here lies the truth. The more you chase, the more you proclaim that it is not yet yours. The act of seeking is the silent admission of lack. When you stop running, when you stand still in the awareness that you already possess it, the thing you desire is drawn to you. For all creation begins and ends within your consciousness. It is not found out there in the marketplace of life. It is born within the quiet chambers of your mind. Close your eyes. See yourself already in possession of the thing you want. Do not wonder how it will come. Do not attempt to rearrange the outer world with your own hands. Instead, rearrange the inner world with the simple act of acceptance. When you know it is already yours, you do not need to seek it. The seed is planted, the harvest is certain. Just as the earth knows how to bring forth the seed without your effort, so too does life know how to deliver what you have claimed in faith. Be still. Rest in the vision. Walk as though it is already done. And you will find, without strain, without struggle, that it comes to you naturally, as surely as dawn follows the night. The more you chase, the more you affirm its absence. Every step taken in desperate pursuit is a silent confession to yourself that you do not yet have what you seek. You may think that chasing is a sign of determination. That constant movement toward your goal proves your commitment. But beneath the surface, it tells another story. A story of lack, of wanting, of believing the thing you desire exists somewhere far away, and the world reflects that belief right back at you. You see, life is not moved by your frantic grasping, it is moved by the state you dwell in. If you live in the state of wanting, you keep creating more wanting. If you live in the state of having, you naturally receive. The mind, when it is restless, sends out a signal of incompleteness. That signal says, I do not yet have it, I must search for it. And life responds, yes, you do not yet have it. Keep searching. This endless cycle is what keeps so many trapped in longing, never realizing that the real key is to stop running and simply claim it as your own in consciousness. Quiet acceptance is not laziness. It is not giving up. It is the most powerful declaration you can make, a declaration that says, it is already mine. When you can sit in the stillness of that knowing, you dissolve the invisible wall between you and your desire. Instead of chasing after it in the outer world, you invite it into your inner world, and from there it must express itself in the outer. Think of the times in your life when something came to you effortlessly. It may have been a person, an opportunity, or even a small, simple joy. You did not wrestle with the universe to make it happen. It flowed toward you naturally, often when you weren't even thinking about it. Why? Because in that moment you were not broadcasting lack. You were at ease. You were aligned with receiving. Chasing has an energy of urgency, and urgency whispers to the world that something is missing. Quiet acceptance carries the energy of fulfillment, and fulfillment tells the world that everything you desire is already in place. This is why the most profound changes happen when you stop struggling. The moment you rest in the assumption that you already have it, your actions, your words, and even your presence begin to match that reality. And reality, being obedient to the state you occupy, aligns itself with your conviction. So instead of running toward what you want, step into it now in your imagination. Live as though it is done. Feel the relief, the joy, the contentment that would be yours if it were already here. Hold that feeling quietly, without grasping, without forcing. Let it settle in you until it feels natural. When you do this, life no longer needs to be chased. It comes. It must come. For you are no longer the seeker. You are the one who has already found. Stillness is the language of receiving. It is in the quiet spaces, when the mind is no longer filled with noise and struggle, that the whispers of life can be heard. Most people believe that to get what they want, they must constantly speak, act, and move. But there is a depth of power in doing nothing outwardly while doing everything inwardly. In stillness, the mind stops scattering its energy in 100 directions and instead becomes a clear, focused channel for the vision you hold. Silence is not empty, it is full of the unseen movements that shape the visible world. When you become still, you are not withdrawing from life, you are aligning with it. The external world moves at its own pace, often slower than our restless desires. But when you step into stillness, you stop fighting the current, and the current begins to carry you exactly where you need to be. Your vision, the one you carry quietly in your heart, thrives in this stillness. When you silence the doubts, the fears, and the endless questions of how and when, the vision is free to grow without being strangled by your interference. The world is full of people who plant a seed in their minds and then dig it up again and again just to check if it's growing. But those who understand the language of receiving know that you plant the seed, water it with belief, and then let the earth do its work in silence. In stillness, you become receptive. You stop pushing and start allowing. You give the unseen forces room to arrange the details in ways your conscious mind could never plan. You begin to notice small nudges, an idea that comes at the right time, a person you meet unexpectedly, a situation that opens a door. These things do not happen by accident. They happen because stillness allowed you to hear and follow the quiet guidance that is always there. Silence deepens your conviction. Words can sometimes weaken belief, especially when spoken in doubt or desperation. But when you hold your vision in the silence of your own being, it becomes sacred. It is yours alone. It grows stronger without the need for outside validation. And the stronger it grows inside, the sooner it must take form outside. This is why the most powerful prayers are not always spoken aloud. They are felt, they are lived in the inner world with such certainty that no one else even knows the silent work that is being done. And yet, the results become visible for all to see. To receive, you must learn to listen. To listen, you must become still. In the quiet, your vision is no longer a dream waiting in the distance. It becomes a reality that you inhabit now. And once you inhabit it within, the outer world has no choice but to match it. Faith lives in the present moment. It is not a distant hope, nor is it a future promise waiting to be fulfilled. It is a living certainty that exists here and now. Many people place their desires in the realm of someday. They imagine that what they want will come when circumstances improve, when they work harder, or when life finally gives them permission. But this is not faith, this is postponement. Faith claims the desire as a present reality. When you say to yourself, "It will happen one day," you unconsciously push it away. You set it in the future, and the future never arrives as anything other than the present. Faith understands this truth. There is only now. The moment you believe something is yours, in this moment, it begins to arrange itself in your life. Not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect. Now. Your desire already exists. It is not something you are creating out of nothing. It is something you are aligning with. Just as a radio does not create the song it plays, but simply tunes into the right frequency, you do not create your desire by force. You tune into it by faith. And tuning in means you feel the reality of it now, not as a wish, but as something certain, as something you are already living in consciousness. Faith is not waiting, faith is knowing. The one who waits is unsure, always looking for signs to prove it will happen. The one who knows no longer looks for signs because the proof is already felt within. When you know, your actions, your words, even your posture begin to shift. You speak as someone who already has it. You move as someone who has no doubt. And the world mirrors that certainty back to you. Living in the present moment with faith does not mean ignoring the future. It means understanding that the future you desire is born from the state you hold now. If you live in a state of not yet, your future will echo not yet. But if you live in the state of already done, your future will reflect already here. The mind often tries to complicate this truth by asking, but what if it doesn't happen? That is the voice of fear, the voice of the old self that still believes in lack. Faith answers not with explanations but with rest. It rests in the assurance that it is already finished. Right now, in this very moment, you can step into the reality you want. You can feel the joy of having it, the relief of completion, the peace of knowing it's yours. That feeling is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Hold it, live in it, because faith is not a promise for tomorrow, it is possession today. And when you truly possess it in the present, the outer world has no choice but to deliver it to you. Imagination is the bridge between where you are and where you long to be. It is the invisible path that connects the unseen to the seen, the inner world to the outer. Every change, every creation, every fulfilled desire begins first as an image in the mind. Before it can appear in your hands, it must appear in your awareness. This is why those who neglect their imagination remain bound to the same circumstances. They have never built the bridge. When you feel and see the outcome within, you are not engaging in idle daydreaming. You are engaging in creation. Imagination is not fantasy. It is the workshop of reality. The world you see today is nothing but the outer expression of the images you have held in your mind, whether consciously or unconsciously. And the moment you choose to deliberately hold a new image, you begin to walk across the bridge toward a new reality. The power lies in feeling it real. Anyone can picture a better life, but if that picture feels distant, if it feels like someday instead of now, it remains locked in the realm of desire. Feeling is what makes the image alive. When you step into your imagination and inhabit the scene as if it were happening now, speaking the words you would speak, hearing the sounds, touching the objects, sensing the atmosphere, you collapse the distance between you and your desire. In that inner space, you are no longer wanting, you are living it. Your outer world is obedient to the state you occupy inwardly. If your inner world is filled with the sensation of already having, the outer must reflect it. This is not because imagination is mere escapism, but because consciousness shapes reality. The moment you identify with the new image, you stop acting from the old self. Your choices shift, your energy changes, and unseen forces begin to align circumstances in your favor. Consider how great inventions, works of art, or life-changing ideas have come into being. They were first imagined in detail. The Creator did not wait for the physical proof before believing in them. They walked the bridge in their mind until the vision became tangible. You can do the same with your desires. Whether it is love, success, health, or freedom, the process is identical. Live it inwardly until it must appear outwardly. Imagination is the bridge, but you must walk it daily. You must return to the inner scene often, not as a wishful visitor, but as a rightful resident. Each time you do, the bridge becomes shorter, the gap closes, and the outer begins to catch up to the inner. When you truly feel and see the outcome within, the question is no longer will it happen, but how soon will I see what I already know is mine? And in time the answer will arrive. Not as a surprise, but as the natural expression of what you have already lived in your imagination. Let go of the how, for the moment you demand to know every step, you place chains on the very process meant to deliver your desire. The mind is always restless, always seeking control, asking, but how will this happen? Who will make it happen? What will I need to do? In asking these questions from a place of worry, you confess that you do not yet believe. True belief does not demand to see the map. It walks forward knowing the road will appear under its feet. When you hold too tightly to the how, you interfere with the unseen forces already at work. You are like a gardener who plants a seed and then digs it up every day to check its progress. In doing so, you disturb the process and delay the harvest. Life has its own intelligence, its own way of weaving events together in perfect order. Your role is not to direct every movement of the universe. Your role is to decide what you desire and hold to that end with unwavering conviction. The how belongs to a higher order of wisdom than the human mind can comprehend. Sometimes the path will unfold through opportunities you could never have planned. Sometimes the answer will arrive through a person you have not yet met, or through a situation that seems unrelated at first glance. The mind, with its limited vision, cannot see all the threads being woven together in the unseen. But when you release the how, you give permission for the full tapestry to be completed without your interference. Letting go does not mean doing nothing. It means acting in harmony with your belief, not in panic. It means taking the steps that feel natural, while allowing the larger pieces to arrange themselves without your constant pushing. You may not know how the door will open, but if you walk toward it in faith, you will find it unlocked when you arrive. There is a deep peace that comes with surrendering the how. It removes the strain from your desire. It allows you to live as though the end result is already guaranteed, because it is. The moment you imagine the outcome and feel it real, the path to it begins to form. Your task is to stay in alignment with that end, to remain in the state of the wish fulfilled, and to trust that every necessary detail is being handled. When you stop interfering, the way reveals itself effortlessly. People are moved into place. Circumstances shift quietly. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. And when the result appears, you will see that it came, not because you struggled to make it happen, but because you trusted enough to let it happen. Release the how. Hold the vision. Walk in the feeling of the fulfilled desire. The rest will take care of itself, for the way is always prepared for the one who believes. Rest in the knowing, for the moment you truly know it's yours, it begins to move toward you. There is a quiet power in certainty, not the noisy confidence that tries to convince itself, but the deep, calm assurance that needs no proof. When you reach this place within yourself, you stop grasping, you stop questioning, you stop measuring time, you simply live as though the end is already secured, because in your mind and heart it is. Knowing is different from hoping. Hope looks toward the future, always waiting for the day it might come. Knowing lives in the present. grounded in the truth that it is already here in unseen form. This state is not forced, it is felt. It comes when you have imagined the end so completely, so vividly, that you no longer need to think about it constantly. It becomes as natural to you as the memory of something that has already happened. When you rest in this knowing, you align with the reality you desire. Everything about you, your words, your choices, your energy, begins to shift to match that reality. You find yourself drawn to certain places, making decisions without overthinking, following impulses that seem small but later prove significant. This is not coincidence, it is the unseen moving through you, guiding you toward the fulfillment you have already claimed within. Resting in the knowing also removes the resistance that often keeps desires at a distance. When you are desperate for something to happen, you emit the vibration of not having it, and life mirrors that back to you. But when you are at rest, when you no longer need to chase, you declare to life that it is already done. And life, being obedient to your state, responds by bringing it into view. Think of how you act when you order something you've paid for. You do not pace the floor or beg the store to send it. You know it is yours, and you simply wait for its arrival. This is how you must treat the desires you have accepted as reality. You have paid for them with belief, and now you allow them to be delivered without anxiety. Resting does not mean inaction. It means moving through life without the heaviness of doubt. It means waking up each day with the quiet joy of someone who already possesses what they once longed for. It means trusting the unseen process, even when there is no visible evidence yet. The moment you know it's yours, you set unseen forces in motion. The people, opportunities, and circumstances needed for its fulfillment begin to arrange themselves. And because you are resting in the knowing, you are ready to receive when they arrive. So stop wrestling with the when and how. The seed has been planted. The harvest is inevitable. Rest in the knowing and watch as what you desire moves steadily, faithfully, and inevitably into your life. All that you desire is already within your reach, not through relentless chasing, but through quiet acceptance, stillness, and unwavering faith in the present moment. Imagination becomes the bridge, the how takes care of itself, and certainty draws it toward you like a magnet. The moment you rest in the knowing that it is already yours, the unseen begins to move in your favor. Life will always mirror the state you live in. Live as though it is done, and it must become your reality. Thank you.